And today's session is going to be all about how to reduce your food waste, but specifically your salad. So I know we're looking out the window and it's starting to get a little bit blustery and cold out there, but there's loads of us still buy salad every time we shop. And it's one of our most commonly wasted foods in the UK. So today we're going to talk a little bit about things to look for when you're buying it, how to store it, and how to use it up. So always try and buy things that have got the longest possible date. So have a good look at the things in the supermarket. Have a think about when you're buying them and when you want to use them. Make sure there's plenty of time on that best before date. Um, have a think about how much of it you're really going to use. So, do you need a whole cucumber? Would half a cucumber be better for you? So, it might be that in terms of price per gram, the whole cucumber works out cheaper. But if you're throwing half of it away, you may find that actually you're saving yourself money by buying the half. Okay, so use your meal plan, make your list, and try and stick to it. So, some of the other things to just think about are where you buy your um, salad from. So, it may be that you've got a local greengrocer that has some really great quality. It may be that when you go to the supermarket, you are a bit discerning and you look at the whole of the fruit and veg section before you make your selections. It may be that the first salad items you come to are some of the shorter dated items. One of the other things to bear in mind is that all salad items will have a best before date on. So your lettuces, your cucumbers, tomatoes, peppers, all of those sorts of things have got a best before date. That is purely about quality. It is not a hard and fast rule, it's just a piece of guidance. So you're okay to eat food after that date if it still looks and smells good. So, in terms of storing it, excuse me, in terms of storing it, your soft green leaves, so your lettuces, spinach, kale, watercress, rocket, any of those sort of things, if you buy them in a sealed bag, don't open the bag until you need it. Once you've opened the bag, pop a piece of kitchen paper in there and seal it shut with a bag clip or a peg, or even fold it round and put a bit of tape on it, something like that. If you've bought a whole lettuce or you tear your bag or what have you, you can decant those into either a food bag with like a Ziploc with a piece of kitchen paper in there, or personally I use a large Tupperware box. I line it with kitchen paper, put all of my loose salad leaves, my green leaves in there. I tend to mix them up, so in terms of making a salad, it's really easy. Just grab a handful and you've got a nice mix already. The kitchen paper just regulates the moisture. So if they get too wet, they'll go off really quickly, and if they get dry out, they tend to sort of wither a little bit. So it just keeps them at a nice regular level of moisture. And like I say, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't need a special tub for this. Just either a Tupperware box that seals, or a Ziploc sandwich bag, or even the bag that your lettuce and what have you came in. Personally, I also put my cucumber in there, and tomatoes. Some people like to keep their tomatoes out on the side because they feel it makes them fresher. Supermarket tomatoes have been refrigerated before you buy them, so keeping them out on the side isn't actually going to change the flavour at all. If you grow them in your garden, it's a little bit different. The sunlight helps the flavour develop, but once they've been refrigerated, that all stops. In terms of storing things like peppers, if you cut them, it's best to wrap them airtight, so you can keep them and they'll last a little bit longer. Try and keep all of your salad items in your crisper drawer. It's there for a reason. It's designed to keep your veg at a more your salad at a more regular temperature. A few specific tips: if you tend to buy celery, you can stand that up in a jar of water, and that'll help it last a lot longer. If you buy radishes, a really good tip with radishes is to get a glass jar, take the leaves off, pop the radishes in some water in the glass jar, seal it up, and they'll keep a lot fresher for a lot longer in your fridge. So always have a look at the packaging. A lot of modern packaging is designed to make things last longer. So have a look at how it recommends that you store your items. It may be that it recommends that you keep them in their original packaging. That is the case for most things. Cucumber, for example, the plastic wrap that comes on a cucumber can extend its life from around 3 days up to 10 days. So it's there for a really good reason, and it's worth leaving that on your cucumber whilst it's in your fridge. Um, if your cucumber's starting to wilt a little bit, you can actually stand it up. You need to find the end that was attached to the plant, if you like, pop that in a little cup of water and stand it up in your fridge door, and that will keep it really fresh and really crisp. Lettuce leaves, if they start to wilt, you just pop them in a bowl of cold water for about 5 minutes and then take them out and just tap them dry with a bit of kitchen paper or a clean tea towel, something like that. They'll crisp up really well. So a lot of the time it's just about how we store things. It's like I say, it's really important to think about how you're going to use them. So obviously you've bought your salad to eat as a salad, but a lot of the time we buy salad with great intentions, the weather turns, and it's maybe not as appealing. So a salad in itself is a great way to use up lots of different little bits of leftovers, but some of those ingredients that you've bought for your salad can be used in really inventive ways as well. So in terms of things like your lettuce leaves, they can actually be chopped up and put in soups and casseroles. Use them in stir fries like you would cabbage. Add them right at the end because they're softer. They don't need any cooking time. And if you cook them for a long time, they will turn to mush. But just throw them at the end. They're a really nice, refreshing crunch. You can use them to make pesto. So salad leaves blended up with a little bit of olive oil, some hard cheese. It doesn't have to be Parmesan. Personally, one of my favourites is a pesto made with cheddar and walnuts. But yeah, a little bit of hard cheese and some nuts or seeds basically, and you can make yourself a great pesto and you can experiment with different flavours. But if you've got a little bit of salad left over, it's a really simple way to use that up. In terms of actually making it into a salad, salad is fantastic for using up odds and ends. So it might be that you've got, half a piece of ham or a little block of cheese. Just chop all those things together, mix them in. Don't be afraid to put fruit in your salad. I grew up in a house where oranges regularly appeared in salad, grapes, those sort of things. They're a really nice, refreshing change. And if you've only got one or two left in the fridge or, a small amount, it's a fantastic way to use up kind of odds and ends. Excuse me. If you've got leftover tomatoes, just chop them up, dice them, drop them into something like a bolognese or a curry. If you're not making anything at the moment, dice them, pop them in the freezer. So you can take them out of the freezer and use them just like you would chop tomatoes from a tin, or even things like passata. So you can put them straight into curries, sauces, and they just add a really nice texture and some extra flavour. If you've got the odd thing you're not really sure what to do with, we might have some more unusual ideas for you. So cucumber, for example, can be pickled. Now, I say pickled cucumber, and I know there's people thinking, oh, but actually really nice. Slice it up finely with some spirit vinegar and a bit of dill, and you've got a really nice relish there that you can use in burgers, you can use on salads. It makes a really nice addition to any kind of savoury dish, really. So some of your really important things are just to plan what you're going to do, what you're going to make, what you're going to need your salad ingredients for. Think about how you're going to store them. It might seem like it takes a lot of space, but it's really important that if you keep your salad leaves particularly airtight, they'll last a lot longer. Like I say, wrap your peppers. Keep your radishes in water. Celery does really well with its ends in water. It's just keeping it alive, basically, keeping the moisture content right. And then when it comes to using it up, get creative. So if you've only got a little bit of salad, a nice side salad goes with anything. But if you've only got the odd piece here and there, there's all sorts of different things you can make with them. Personally, I love a summer casserole with lettuce chopped into it. You can use that with spinach. You can use it really with any of your soft greens. The other thing to think about with your salad is if you've cooked something like a Sunday lunch and you've got a few leftovers, a bit of broccoli, a bit of cauliflower, a couple of carrots, and a bit of chicken, say. You can chop all of that up and pop it into your salad. Even if you've got things like roast potatoes, actually just chop them in. A nice little bit of carb doesn't hurt. It's a really good mix. So there's lots of different ways you can use up your salad. It's a really our salad is a really important part of our diet. We buy loads of it in the UK, but sadly we also waste a lot of it as well. So it's all just about thinking about the things that we buy, thinking about how we can use them up and how we can make them last a little bit longer. We will put some links below for things like the lettuce leaf pesto. It's really simple to make, really easy and really tasty. And we will see you soon for some of our other food waste facts. Bye!